So this was such a fun role. What was the most fun part doing it?
Oh, it's tough. We had a lot of fun getting to kind of work with the animals, doing the horseback riding. I know Rose had a good time, getting to kind of get into the barrel racer mindset. I don't know. I think when you go and you work on a show for a period of time, and you don't know anybody before you get there, and you show up every day and you kind of build this family and camaraderie, I think that just becomes a super fun experience. It's like going to summer camp. I think you said that earlier, every single day. And so I think that for me was the best experience, getting to meet Cole Sybus and CK Bellato and James Kerr and Rose Reed, everybody. It was just such a blast.
Yeah, you do really become family on projects like this. And it's hard because then you leave the project and you go home and you're like, where did the rest of my family go? I feel like a part of me is missing. And so it's so exciting to be back here and be in the theater and get to spend time with everyone that we spent weeks with. And it feels like being reunited with long-lost family. You guys found out good stories from social media and stuff about people's kind of reaction to it?
Yeah, it's been really positive. I've just been seeing a lot of posts, a lot of people watching it with their families. I've seen a couple youngsters pop on the cowboy hat doing their best Cody Gunner look, which is super cool. And it's fun to see a younger generation get excited about whether the sport of bull riding or, acting, whatever it may be.
The super young ones do the sheep, right? Mutton busting. Mutton busting. Yes. Yeah. The response has been overwhelmingly positive. It's been so great. I've had so many people message me and tell me how they've lost a loved one and that this really helped them move on. And that's something that's really special because, that's why we do what we do. That's why we create. That's why we tell stories, is because we hope that maybe these stories will relate to someone out there and maybe help someone else through a similar situation. So when you started writing, did you picture yourself, here I am going to be on a red carpet and years to come?
Never pictured this. I mean, this is just beyond my expectations. And, I always knew I love the books. I'm this is what I want to read. So I'm going to write this. But seeing it to this point where there's not only a show, but it's such a successful show. We're celebrating that it's #1, which is huge news. Never dreamed. It's beyond what I could have asked or imagined.
For you, how meaningful it is to have your son, taking on the passion to himself. So
exactly. Yeah, he's such an amazing writer. I wouldn't have wanted to do this with anyone else. When I said, who would I want to screenwrite it? He was my first choice. So it's funny. We kind of separate. I don't really think of him. I mean, I hope this isn't an offensive thing, but I don't really think of him as my son. I think of him as a very talented screenwriter. And nice that I can kind of be the first one in line.
For you, what does writing mean to you?
Oh, I mean, I think writing is just an opportunity to share what God puts on my heart with others, and to hopefully hold up a mirror to people watching that they can leave a little changed or impacted. And that's what's fun about tonight, is we get to watch this with people and experience it together, which is why we wrote it, to watch together.
It's good because you also add the fun and excitement in there with the rodeo and the romance and all the, it's good that you guys add that. You guys are good writers in terms of adding in the joy too, even in the midst of
the ups and the downs.
Yeah, you have to kind of take them on the ride with you. So to speak.
For 8 seconds, like the bull.
8 seconds tonight. So.
I thought you had a fun character in this movie. So talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I played Dalton Kenny. He's a Mexican bull rider from Jalisco, and it was just really fun to kind of become the comedic relief in the show. I don't even know if that was necessarily planned, but the character and the wardrobe kind of leaned into that. He's a disco dancing cowboy and the best friend of Dalton. Cody. So I really enjoyed that relationship that they had, and being on site on location, me and Colin actually got to really become friends, and we both live in LA now and continue to hang out to this day. So it's kind of reflects what we went through in the show as in real life.
Do you know anything about the rodeo world before this, or was this something you got introduced?
I was thrown into it blindly, and when we first got to Oklahoma, the first thing we did, Rose, Colin, and I, we just went right to a real rodeo. It was my first experience, and I fell in love with it. It was super cool. And then we had cowboy camp right before, where we had to learn everything. So I didn't really know too much about it. It was cool to dive in and really find out what it's all about.
The bull riding is the most unsafe possible.
It's considered the most dangerous 8 seconds in all of sports, and I could see why. The bull riders there were telling us, I jumped out of planes, I've done this and that, and nothing comes close to bull riding. And when we saw the first takes, we were I could see why. Yeah.
You get to watch that firsthand on what they're doing.
We were right there, especially when it was kind of like the different coverage. You know, when he's riding, I'm on the stands. We got to see it up close, and we got to kind of like, pretend like we were going to get that feeling of that fear. But like I said, there's no way that I would have gotten myself to jump on one of those bulls in real life.
It takes a lot of faith, right? And that's what this show is about.
It takes faith and an extreme amount of courage to jump on a bull. I'll tell you that.
Tell me about your character.
So I play Carl Joseph, who is very love, kind, hardworking guy. He just like to like me in real life. Like I play that character, and my character we're like similar. Like
And how do you feel being here at the red carpet?
it's awesome to come back to the red carpet, and get to walk it, have a good time, and see all my castmates.
Love it. I love the story. I thought it was so great. I liked your character. So good work.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? So did you like the horses in this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a big horse fan?
Yes.
Had you ever seen the rodeo before?
Yes.
Lace, and you liked it?
Yes.
You're 5? What's your favorite sport?
Horse. Baseball. Yes.
You guys have a trampoline? Do you get to jump on the trampoline?
Yes.
We're excited to have you. Are you excited to be here?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Ellie, you're my reason to breathe. Let me be yours.